but there is a real significant sort of glass ceiling, and I've encountered quite a bit of sort of gendered related things where it's like, okay, well, you'll only get this far in this industry.
Wow. What was that like for you to try to constantly kind of fight against that?
Well, I have found that you have to be a certain amount of feminine and then not too feminine. And when some of my male coworkers asked one of our male bosses, why don't you hire more women? His response, and I've heard this from several of my male coworkers, was, I don't want my guys to have affairs.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I just couldn't believe that when you're dealing with an arts industry and, something, we're working 10 hours a day, but this is hard work. This is physical labor.
Sure.
And I couldn't believe that was like a basis for not hiring more women. And I had made a joke with some of the other guys, like, because they said, oh, well, we got this person and they're so great and they worked in this and this and this. And I said, oh, so now you guys have filled your quota for your one middle-aged woman? And they were like, yeah.
Oh, it wasn't a joke for them.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, like this.
Oh my gosh.
It's really disappointing. And prior to that, I had applied to a concrete company that makes fountains and stuff like that. I got an email back, you're hired. We're going to start this gig on Monday. I'm going to call you. It was on Friday, and we'll set up and let you know where to start. And the guy called me up, and he goes, oh, you're female. And I said, yeah. And he goes, oh, yeah, I'll get back to you. And that was it.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Dawn. What?
And
You're heading into, you're back in the film industry now. How confident do you feel in a better environment, hopefully?
well, I'm not really sure. I mean, because I'm kind of like past the age of being considered like a cute recruit. And I'm getting to the age where it's like, oh, is she just too old and broken? So it's going to be a bit of a challenge.
There's a lot of gender stereotyping there, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, and there is a certain, like women become invisible.